Plateauing in chess really sucks. In this video, I'm going to show you how I broke my plateau and how you can potentially break yours as well. So first, let's take a look at my stats. So if you take a look at this chart here, as you can see for the last 90 days, I basically floated around 14 to 1500. I constantly went to 1500 and then dropped down to 1400. So ups and downs consistently, right? One, that's the second time. And then here we started to kind of start to hold that 1500 rather than keep going down to 1400. But here is where it really happened. So right around here, I broke my peak. I hit 1569. And as you can see, this kind of I didn't play much here. And the reason for that is I actually listened to a lot of your guys' recommendations and took a break. Now, yes, I have this series playing chess every single day until 2000 ELO. And I did play chess every single day, but I did not play rapid chess every single day. I gave myself a break, finally. I've been playing chess for almost a year, constantly. Rapid chess, thinking and thinking and thinking. So I took a step back. I had a reason. I went to Toronto, and Gotham's chess tour actually got postponed, so I wasn't able to go to that, unfortunately. Very sad. Side note though, it was a reason to take a break from rapid chess and just enjoy life. So I went down. I did still do a little bit of puzzles, and I played a little bit of blitz, and I did study a little bit of openings, but not that much. I actually just took a break. And then when I came back, what you'll see is we do go down a little bit to 1555, but then we jump all the way up to 1600, and we're currently 1615. And if you look at my yearly chart, if you go back to here, I made a jump to 1400, and then the same thing. I plateaued 13 to 1400 for about 2 months here. So this is a very common thing. So what do? What I did when I was 1300 was I did a lot of puzzles. I got a coach, and he showed me where I really was going wrong. A lot of positional stuff with the 1300, 1200 range, and just not an understanding of good squares and whatnot. And even to this point, I'm still not great with it, but I'm a lot better than I was. So I think the main thing that really helped me was actually just taking a break. So just try it. Try taking 5 days off of playing chess. And of course, I puzzles, openings, all of that stuff, really, you need to be doing it. You can't neglect any of it. You can't just play chess and gain ELO. You can, not all of us, because you're just going to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. Now, if you're struggling to reach the 1000 ELOs threshold, what do? Well, you need to take a step back, and I guess this can apply to any ELO range, but you need to take a step back and ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not a better player? So if you can't reach 1000, it's probably because you're making one move blunders. If you're making blunders every single game, and you're just hanging a queen or you're hanging a bishop, that's why you're still under 1000. So you need to take a step back, and you need to ask yourself, how can I fix this? Well, if that's the case and you're still 1000 ELO, just ask yourself before every single move, am I blundering anything directly? If you do this, you will stop, because you will start to see, I was just about to blunder that piece. So many people neglect that, right? So start doing that. And yeah, so if you look at the last 7 days, for me, I've played 34 games, and my win rate is going up. So I'm playing less, because before this would be 100 or so. I was playing so much, but I was neglecting other things. So playing the game is not the most important thing, which is kind of weird to think about, right? We all love playing chess. That's why we do it. But you need to take a step back, and you need to focus on other things and why you're not progressing. So that's my main tip. And now, because I like to show games, we're going to take a look at a game that I recently played as a 1600, and I'm going to explain my thought process All right, so we're playing with the white pieces here, and we go e4. We're e4 players around here. If you're not, then you do your normal opening. And I mean, my opponent goes b6, which is just the Owens defense, just plans to fight for the center from a distance with this bishop. The way that I play against this is I just take the full center, develop, put my pieces out, and castle. There's no, fancy tricks around here for this in my game plan. I just develop, take the center, he goes there. We go here defending the pawn. And I thought this was a little bit weird, but not there, but comes out to pin anyways. So I just developed the other knight, defending this. Now he comes and pins this knight, which means, so this is the first thing. Every piece plays a role. So if you want to stop blundering things and you want to get better at chess, what is this knight doing? Well, it's protecting this pawn. If this knight is removed, this pawn will be lost. You need to start thinking ahead a little bit. And this is still one of my major weaknesses. If you're a regular viewer, you know this, but I sometimes lack the skill of seeing what my opponent's threats are. But this plays a huge role because now, knowing that he wants to take and then take, we can defend. So we go bishop to d3, defending the pawn. Now he just develops, putting another attacker on this. So we need to do something. So I push the pawn. It's not the greatest move because apparently he can still just like come in or not. Well, come in, takes or something. I don't know. Anyways, it's not what happened. He goes here. He applies more pressure on this square. So he wants to take, or opposite, take, and fork me. My arrows I cannot draw. Let's do that again. Takes, forking me. That's what he wants. I mean, I can just go here, but then takes and takes. Trades everything off, and my structure's destroyed. So we go bishop to d2. We defend once again, and he takes. And here you could take with the bishop, or you could take with the pawn. Why would I want to take with the bishop and still double my pawns, but trade off more pieces? I don't really see the point in that. So I just take with the pawn, kicking the bishop away. So we gain a tempo because the bishop's now got to go back to this square or this square. Obviously going to go here. He could go here as well, but that'd be weird. So he goes all the way back. We just castle. King safety is so important. That's one thing that you really need to prioritize. And sometimes it's worth more than a pawn. So at this level, once you reach, 1400 plus, you want to start looking at pawns and not just thinking +1. Because sometimes it's worth giving up a pawn for, king safety or getting a piece out or having more pieces active or for an attack, which you'll see soon. So he tries to undermine my center here, which, is fine. We bring the rook to the semi-open file here, just activating the rook, putting it on a good square, better than this square, at least. It's not the best move in the position, but it's not bad, because what you want to be doing is you want to try and put your pieces on the best possible square, and then you want to try and fight. You don't want to just start, opening up the center here wouldn't be too bad because the king's in the center still, but he can just castle. Yeah. So you just want to put your pieces on really good squares. So if you want to get better, piece placement. You need good squares. You need to be able to identify what squares are weak in positions, and you need to try to take advantage of them. So after I put the rook here, he plays c5. He wants me to take or something. He wants to destroy my whole structure or whatever. Now we just bring the other rook. We're protecting the pawn. If he takes, it undoubles my pawns, and then I'll push. I'm pretty happy with this position, to be honest. Like, he hasn't developed the knight. The rook is not getting out very soon. He hasn't castled. This bishop's not really doing much. Like, can't go here. It literally can't go anywhere else. Or it has to go back. He takes, which is a blunder. Because I just take. And what else can we do? We just take. This is a beautiful square for the knight. He's not going to push f6 because that would just be silly. Then you get this. I'll show you. This is a very common tactic, which tactics are very important. Always never neglect your puzzles because you'll see these tactics pop up. There's a reason why people say tactics. So if you were to push the eval, mate and 4, check, blocks here. I mean, this isn't the mate, but this is the tactic. And the reason why you can take with the knight here is because if they take like this, then you win the rook. So he didn't try to kick me away. He castles, king safety. And now we make a mistake, which actually throws away all of our advantage. I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming to be the best player ever. But my thought process behind this was this bishop is going to be a monster. But the thing is, in this position, the best move, believe it or not, is actually just to sacrifice the bishop and take on this square because the lack of development and pieces around the king versus my bishop staring, knight here, queen coming in, rook lift available is just too much. Like, if you were to find this move, like, he's in big trouble. What are you going to do? Well, let's see. I mean, obviously you can't do this, right? That's a little bit silly. What can you do here? Takes, oh. Okay, apparently that's just possible. I was thinking like this, but he just, yeah. So let's just ignore that I went into that. You get the point. The best move is to sack, get the queen in, you know, rook lift. The knight's already playing a good wart role. Anyways, we go for a trade. He takes, we take back. And now queen comes here. Just, you know, attacking the rook, forcing the rook to do something, kind of acting as a blockade. And I play this move here, which is an inaccuracy. I'm just defending the rook. And it's probably an inaccuracy because of something like this. And it forces a queen trade. And then we're not going to have any kind of attack. And our pawn structure is just worse. But he gets greedy and takes a pawn, attacking the rook. This is very natural, right? The other idea behind queen here is I noticed that this rook is undefended just due to the knight being undeveloped. Now we come here, he takes another pawn, and we have a great move here, which is just discovered attack on the rook, and the knight can't come here because it just takes. But we first play bishop to h6, which just looks like a blunder, right? But the idea is pretty clear. He can't take because if he takes, then just this, and we're going to take the rook. I don't know what the computer's saying here. Apparently this, and then here. I guess this isn't too bad. Yeah, I can see why that's actually not very strong. Apparently we have to go there. It also opens up the king, which was the other idea behind it. But apparently I just had the wrong idea. So anyways, it's clear. He just attacks the rook, which gives me what I want because I wanted to go rook here, discovered attack, winning a rook. So I do it, goes back, we take the rook, he takes the bishop. In this position, we're crushing. Now we have pressure on this bishop. We're about to rook lift. He just attacks the knight. We don't care. We just go here. I mean, if he takes, we're happy. Now he just takes the pawn. We slide over, check, and then checkmate. And this was possible because we were able to recognize from this position, actually like all the way back here, that if this ever opens up, we could rook lift, and then there's possibilities of checkmates over here. So that's good tactical vision. We knew opening principles, and we were able to capitalize and fight for good squares. And that's really all we did. Didn't do anything fancy. So if you're stuck at a certain elo, Try taking a break. It helped me. It could help you. If that doesn't help you, then try studying a little bit more. Step back from playing the games. Still play a little bit if you don't want to take a break completely, or if it doesn't help. Step back, do a little bit more puzzles, study a little bit of openings, because as much as people can say openings don't matter until X amount of elo, it sure helps. I've learned a lot more opening theory as I've progressed, and it really does help knowing what the best moves are right out the gate. And of course, you need to follow opening principles because, they're a thing for a reason. And just don't neglect your puzzles. You can have so much growth from just that. And I highly recommend you download Chessable. Use some of their free courses. It's awesome. It's just an app that you play chess, but only openings, and you just memorize, and then you review, and you continuously do it over and over and over until it's beat into your head. And then play some blitz. Try those openings on real people. See how it works. Use the engine if you see a line that you are curious about or you got crushed by something. Use the engine. Like, we have so much information available to us. We just need to use it. And there's no reason why you cannot reach 1,600 elo. I did it. I was 1,000 elo 6 months ago. It's just incredible what we have here. Yeah. So I know it's kind of a weird one, but my best advice to you, just if you're plateaued, try taking a break. I hope you found this helpful to some degree. I know it's not probably what you wanted to hear. You wanted the magic pill that instantly gives you 100 elo. It doesn't exist. I'm sorry. If you enjoyed the video today, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in other videos.